So I want to give a former NBA veteran, former NBA Sixth Man of the Year, a two-time NBA champion, some credit. Not even just credit. I really want to give him his flowers today because I'm really proud of this brother. I'm extremely proud of this brother's growth, his maturation process, and the man that he is becoming. So J.R. Smith is, for those who don't know, he's a student athlete at North Carolina A&T, a prestigious, historically black college. And while he's been at this university, he's been named the Academic Athlete of the Year at North Carolina A&T, and he has maintained a 4.0 grade point average while playing golf at the school. He's a member of the golf team, right? And when I saw this, man, I could do nothing but salute J.R. Smith for this, man. Like, the growth that he's shown over the years is really remarkable. To be a man that left the NBA and decided to get a degree while playing a sport that you love, I gotta respect that. I gotta applaud that. I gotta applaud something like that, man. J.R. Smith is a lot smarter than people give him credit for, than a lot of people realize. To see J.R., like, I've been watching J.R. since he's been at A&T'S, since he's been at North Carolina A&T. I've been watching his tweets, the way I watch him talk about the contributions of Black American people to American society. It's been refreshing to see, man. I love it. I love it, man. And this is coming from a brother who's been through a lot of different trials and tribulations throughout his NBA playing career. I remember he was in a car accident where his best friend ended up dying, getting killed in a car accident. You know, he was basically a guy that people would mock, right? A guy that they looked at as being a guy who just always liked to drink and party. A guy that only cared about nothing but having sex with pretty girls and so on and so forth. And to see this brother be like, you know what? It's more to life than just money and fame. I really want to take my education serious, man. I like, that's real. That's something that you have to salute. I'm happy for this brother. I really sincerely am, man. J.R. Smith is a man. He didn't need no college degree. He's made millions on top of millions. He damn sure didn't have to he ain't got to go to school and get no degree at all. He didn't have to do none of that. But he chose to pursue it, and he's thriving in it. And I think that everybody that sees this should just be nothing but give him respect. Give him kudos, man. He's embracing his educational enlightenment. That's coming from a brother who was more than likely robbed of a proper education. And I say that because most student athletes, when they are exceptional, like J.R. Smith was able to go straight from high school to the NBA. When they're that good, of course, they don't go to college, they go straight to the NBA, so they don't get a college education. And even if he were to go to college, he wasn't going to be really taking classes to really challenge him. So more than likely, he wasn't going to be taking classes that would really, challenge his mind. That would basically force him to mature as a student. When athletes are that good, they're only giving classes a lot of times that would keep them eligible. It could be a paper mache making class. They would give it to that student athlete just so they would remain eligible to stay on the court. And I'm sure probably stuff like that happened in high school. A lot of student athletes, when they're really good, they get passed along. They're not really doing the work. The teachers don't care because it's always known that it's important to keep this kid eligible for him to be able to do something on that court and make something shake for the school. J.R. Smith has been a great athlete from all the years that we've known him. At St. Benedict's in New Jersey, he was a standout guy. So I'm sure there's a lot of times where people, and I don't know for a fact, but I'm sure there's a lot of times where J.R. possibly didn't really care about school like that. And again, people wonder why should he if he's going to be worth millions. But when people know when he didn't care, nobody was probably forcing him to care, he didn't take school serious, more than likely, right? And he talked about how he didn't really care for school like that. He talked about how he really didn't, he wasn't into it like that. And he still was probably passed along even without being into it. So now to see a person who was probably robbed of a proper education because of his athletic prowess, be embracing education. Man, as a guy that got multiple degrees, I gotta tip my hat to JR, man, for real. Like, I love to see this from him, and it's not surprising Because oftentimes, as I've noticed this trend, when people get older, they start to appreciate education a lot more as they get older, man. JR is maturing as a man and growing as a person all the way around. Growing as a person all the way around, man. And when I saw this, I really, really smiled, and I'm happy for that brother. He is enjoying NCAT. He enjoying the college atmosphere. He's been talking about, you know, having questions about fraternity life. He's been seeing it up close and personal. But he's been embracing the whole journey. At a HBC, a historically black college is a school that he chose. A college, historically black colleges are colleges that educated our mothers, fathers, grandparents, and so on and so forth. A lot of black people in our community, man. So it's great to see, you know, him at a HBCU thriving. And again, only a miserable person would talk down on the achievement like this. Only a miserable person would say, oh, they just giving it to him. I've seen people saying that. Oh, they just giving it to him because he's a great athlete and all this and all of that. And I saw that when I saw this, I said, I bet not see one damn black person talking like this. Because it be your own people that try to doubt you and act like you can't do this or try to look for the worst in you. So I didn't see no black person saying it, but I was hoping that I did. You know what I'm saying? So I bet not see no black person talking down on it. And no person in general, because again, this is a guy that didn't have to go to school. You know what I'm saying? He didn't need no college degree. He made millions on top of millions. And I think that he should get all credit for something like this. Getting a 4.0 is not easy. I don't give a fuck. I don't care what school you go to. I don't care. And NCAT is North Carolina A&T is a prestigious school to go to. But I don't care what school you at. Getting a 4.0, that ain't easy. You got to try. You got to put in great effort. You got to put in great hours. You got to put in time to really be diligent at your studies. You got to really care about school to really get a 4.0. You don't fall into that accidentally. You don't get awarded that even if you're a former player. Nobody care about it, especially them. I'm going to tell y'all this too. A lot of the HBCU professors, a lot of them don't be caring like that about how great you are as an athlete. A lot of them don't, because they black folks that they know is important for your kids, for these kids not to be out here just, you know, floating through life if they don't make it as athletes. Right? So these schools, these teachers don't be caring about, oh, he's this big time basketball player, this, that, and the third. And it ain't working to J.R. Smith advantage because he done already been to the NBA, won multiple championships, been a most improved player. Been a sixth man of the year. He done had an illustrious career. He just playing golf, which is a non-revenue generating sport. So this don't help JR at all. But again, man, I really, really love to see it. It's fun to watch. And, you know, he seems to be embracing it all the way around, man. And I'm just happy for JR, man. People just always used to make a mockery of him. He talked about, man, I never really even drunk Hennessy like that. But they always called me the Henny King. They always say I was just like a drunk guy, you know. They always looked at him like, oh, he a person that's only worried about talking to women, because in his yearbook, he wrote, get chicks or die trying, right? And to see a guy evolve from that into a guy that, you know, is in school, really taking school seriously, getting a 4.0, really caring about, you know, his work, putting in the hard hours to really be a great, diligent student, a student athlete. I love to see it, man. Congratulations to Mr. J.R. Smith, a.k.a. Earl Smith III. Keep it up, brother. Peace.